How do you let yourself drown out the sound of your spouse snoring and drift off to sleep instead of just laying awake getting more and more raging? I have a really hard time with this. I do wear earplugs at night. I understand why you wouldn't want to do this with young kids. But even with that, if I don't get to sleep first, I'm screwed. I can still feel and hear the sound through the plugs, and it is triggering. He needs to go see a doctor. The fact that he blows it off means you need to push the issue. If he cares, he should give a fuck. Many a nights I've had to sleep in a different room just to make sure I slept, too, in fact. That's my best advice for you in the meantime. Good luck. 1. Earplugs. To noise-cancelling earbuds. I really love my Bose Quiet Comfort to South, but everyone is different. 3. Fall asleep first. Point for don't lay awake. Have a talk with your spouse and explain that it isn't personal. You aren't mad, but you need to sleep and will leave when you need to leave to get sleep. Assuming you have another place to sleep in your home. Point 5. If nothing works and you have the space, make for the default, or even have 2 bedrooms if you can swing it. 6. Outside of all that, look into medical causes for the snoring. I bought wireless earplugs, not earbuds, and use them while listening to a white noise app. It drowns out Mr. Wonderful's snoring and his TV. He has to have it on or can't fall stay asleep. My app has a timer, so I set it for about 30 minutes before I have to get up. It starts getting softer about 15 minutes before it shuts off, so it isn't a sudden loss of noise which would wake me up. Plus I wear a sleep mask, so the flickering light from the TV doesn't bother me. After fighting about it for 20 years, I sleep so much better. Unless your partner has sleep apnea where they stop breathing and need a CPAP machine, there's not a lot doctors can do to help. The remedies you see online don't tend to do much either, but see if there's anything that works for you. My solution is sleeping with earplugs. And then if my sodas wake me up, I put a set of headphones in a headband on bought from Amazon with a white noise app on over the top of the earplugs. I use one called Sleep Sounds that lets you set how long it's on for. Tried it all. We sleep in separate bedrooms now. The problem was there, on top of the snoring. We keep separate hours. He falls asleep early, and as soon as his head hits the pillow. I am a night owl by nature, and take a long time to fall asleep. Earplugs are uncomfortable, and I could still hear him. I literally used to lay awake sobbing because I couldn't sleep through it. When we travel, I will take some kind of sleep aid, but those aren't good for long-term use, so separate bedrooms it is. In the first few years of my marriage, I would just get up and go to the other room if it was bad. Then she got a sleep study done and was diagnosed with obstructive sleep apnea. CPAP machine fixed it right up. If your partner snores that much, suggest a sleep study and have them talk to their doctor about it. While there is a strong connection to obesity, I know plenty of people with very healthy BMIs who have it and use a CPAP machine. They have these sleep masks that have small, flat Bluetooth speakers over the ears. I can connect to music or nature sounds and they drown out snoring so I can fall asleep. They're designed to be comfortable, so you can roll around or lay on any side without hurting your ears or damaging the speakers. They even come in a headband version if you don't want to cover your eyes. Very cheap options on Amazon. Give them a look. If my husband snored, we'd have to sleep in separate rooms. The times I've had the misfortune of sharing a room with a snorer, it's ruined my sleep. Sleep is too essential to life to waste time being weird about the implications of separate bedrooms. My husband's grandparents slept in separate bedrooms their whole marriage, and they had 13 kids. Evidence that separate bedrooms doesn't mean a lack of intimacy. Like many others here, I was a loud snorer until I finally got a CPAP machine, and damn, I love that thing now. I wake up rested and not groggy at all. Sit him down and have a serious talk with him. Let him read through this thread. He's adversely impacting his health and doesn't realize it, and also purposely impacting your health and mental well-being. He needs to get it addressed before he is forced to do so. Not much you can do except be exhausted and fall asleep in the short time they are quiet. Sometimes I go downstairs for a bit to help that along. Sometimes I nudge her and she'll be quiet long enough for me to fall asleep. What makes it worse for me is she will not be snoring as I come upstairs, close the door, get changed, and get into bed. It starts a few seconds after I'm in my sleeping position. Funny, I'm in bed next to my snorer right now. I lulled reading this post. We use a white noise maker that drowns out light snoring. And if it gets too loud, I try to roll him over. He's huge, so I can't really do it, but he usually wakes up enough to change positions. That most often does the trick. I'm also a light sleeper, and its stinks edibles at bedtime have helped me so much to relax and fall asleep. With my partner, he usually only snores in a certain position, so I just nudge him until he moves, and that usually fixes it. We live opposite a train station, so I do mean that literally. We put a white noise rain playlist on my phone, and it actually works surprisingly well to drown it out and help us fall asleep. There's an app, Snore Lab, that records the level and duration of the snoring. Put it on a phone on their side of the bed and let it run over a couple of nights. The free version will let you play back some of the recordings, but you want the duration as well. It's one thing to say you kept me up snoring, but to see the graph, it's hard to ignore. It was my first step to getting a CPAP machine. Husband got diagnosed with sleep apnea and now uses a CPAP. Although it's annoying in its own way. We are both happier now since he finally gets good sleep instead of being tired every day. There are also special dental mouth guards you can get that will keep your airways open. Although this gave my husband TMJ. You need to see a dentist who specializes in this to get one made though. Get separate bedrooms. I find the whole notion of we are not a real couple unless we sleep in one bed so ridiculous. I don't even know why that ever started. My guess is money. One bedroom is cheaper than two. Seriously, you can cuddle or have sex as much as you want in one bed. No one is stopping you. But there's nothing better than having your own room for peaceful sleep. My husband snores and I do as well. We both come from families where everyone snore even as children. Neither of us have any control over this, so there's nothing to be upset about. Sleep comes pretty easily despite the nose. IMO, it's your anger irritation about it that is keeping you awake. That lots of couples deal with this by sleeping in separate rooms. Short-term solution: spatula him, slide your flat hand under his shoulder, push upwards and they will turn over. Also audiobooks on noise-cancelling earpods are helping me sleep a lot. But seriously, he needs to step up or you need to sleep separately. Your night's rest is worth it. My husband lost some weight and the snoring stopped. We started sleeping in separate rooms. Eventually I had a sleep study and found out I had severe sleep apnea. I got an APAP and it has virtually eliminated my snoring. Now we can sleep in the same room and I'm not experiencing the mental fog, fatigue, and emotional swings that I suffered from due to horrendous sleep. I have found myself Googling, is snoring a reason for divorce, on more than one occasion. I can't say that I'm proud of that, but with multiple small children I am already incredibly sleep deprived. And then he is just there screaming through his nose half the night. I just feel so defeated and downright exhausted. My husband uses a mouth guard that helps significantly. He took a sleep test but he didn't have sleep apnea. This mouth guard is like a sports one with a piece that goes across your tongue and helps to hold it down. He's mostly quiet when he sleeps now, posting the link below. We tried everything. He even got a $4,000 dental device that was supposed to help, but only helps a little and isn't comfortable to wear. My choice was break up or separate bedrooms. We both have our own bedroom and bathroom with a king-size bed that meets our different needs. We are very happy. I developed what I call bed spider. I lightly tickle his neck. He smacks at it and then usually rolls over without waking up. The change in position ends the snoring. Bed spider keeps me from having to wake him fully by rolling him over. He thinks it's hilarious and loves not being awakened. Always good to try a doctor visit to check out if a CPAP would help. For better breathing while sleeping, the answer my husband and I found was separate bedrooms. We love it. Highly recommended if you can otherwise. We did also try earplugs and nose machines, rain, ocean, etc. Earplugs. A former partner snored like a water buffalo drowning in porridge. The only way I could sleep with how was by using the same 32 decibels foam earplugs I use for rock concerts. It requires a very loud alarm clock, though. We lasted almost 10 years, so you could say it worked. Anti-snoring pillows, they take a few weeks to start working, but then your partner or you start snoring much less. It's quieter. And some days no snoring at all. I bought one for my partner one night at like midnight because I couldn't sleep, and it actually worked. Sleep phones headphones are expensive, but really worth it for a comfortable night's sleep listening to nature sounds or podcasts while my husband gasps for air. Band is a cheaper option, but mine just broke this week after 4 years of use, so not a huge fan at the moment. When I ask certain things, even if he's asleep, can you pass the water bottle, etc. So if his snoring is particularly bad, I ask him to spoon me, and he does. And he snores less when sleeping on his side. Earplugs. I find that the slightly smaller Heroes Nonos are more comfortable for wearing overnight. That plus the white noise from an egg purifier helps. Mostly. Sometimes I can't drift off, and I force her to roll over. Her sleep be damned. My husband was snoring so loudly the other night that he woke up one of the dogs, and then they had a snoring growling contest. I got the giggles so bad that it woke Hubs up. He and the dog fell back asleep, but I was up the rest of the night. Separate bedrooms. Don't understand why more people don't do this when they have the space. You each get a private space and can sleep over with each other when you want to. Plus no more trying to accommodate different sleep schedules. We sleep in separate rooms. He snores, moves a lot in his sleep, and I need total complete silence and darkness to sleep. First year of marriage was rough. I didn't sleep much, and I was very angry. Moving rooms have helped. I'm well aware that this post won't go far by way of upvotes, but I have to tell you I feel your question in my soul all. My trick lately has been going to bed early so I fall asleep first and don't have to hear it.